Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's been quite some time since my last video. I had some stuff to do, both professionally and health-wise. Now I'm in a better spot with my health. So I thought I would end Feline Realms is nearing completion. You know, a few months back I made a log saying, oh, I need to wire all the quests, all that stuff. Well, shit happened and my health went down the drain. I won't go in details, but since then things got back in together, and I finished said wiring, and I did so much more, so much more. And one of the things that I did that is more is actual actual animated timelines of events, like every scene or almost has one or multiple not cutscenes but timeline animations. So Artjom has a guide on them, and it's a very good guide. But I'm gonna make my own version because it's hard to find this guide. It's in the middle of like many other guides, and he's not going. He's just moving a sprite like this, like the early sprite. He's not actually animating it. So I'm just gonna make a very short animation just to complement, so that I think it will complement the series of tutorials. My series of tutorials is as well, but mine is the point. And also I'll get to show you some Feline Realms. The game is very close to release. You know, I could release it, but I want to put an extra little mile in it. For example, one thing that's left to do is actual cutscenes. You know, let's say you played a game, instead of just going to a scene let's say in Final Fantasy, where there's a mug, a Kupo, that says, yo, you finished a scenario, here is a save point, good luck, Kupo. Yeah, it, an actual cutscene, like let's say you see a drawn picture with a voice acting, blah 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 blah, a few pages slide, and then you get back into the game. So cutscenes like that, I think, would really help drive the story along, because I'm relying a bit too much on people's willingness to engage with NPCs and the environment, libraries and stuff in game. I mean, to find out the lore and stuff. So I want to force some of the lore through cutscenes. Cutscenes like this are not included into the 2D RPG kit, so I'm gonna have to do my own homework to integrate them without breaking the game loop, the flow of things, the things like that. So yeah, the game is pretty much done. I could really, I mean, I got a playable build on Steam. Can go from A to Z, can be the last boss and finish the game. You know, the game is completely done. It's just finishing touches and little stuff like, oh, I want cutscenes and stuff like that that's left to do. Otherwise, the game is pretty much done. Don't worry. I don't know why anyone would worry. It's not like it's not a Tesla investment call. Nobody invested. This is on my own time, on my own money, on my own turf. But yeah, what I mean by don't worry is I'm not gonna rage quit and put it down the drain. It's basically finished already. I'm just taking the time to make it better, because I don't have any kind of a hurry. I'm not like I'm not no, I need to pay my rent. No, the rent is paid. This is fine. So I'm taking the time to make it one more, I don't know how to say this, one more tier above the 2D RPG kit by adding one more feature. I already added a bank and stuff, but I want to add cutscene features. But that's it for today. So for today, I had enough talking. Now I just talk about Feline Realms. I talk about my health. Now let's go back into the meat of today's video. I just show you how to make a simple animated timeline. So here is one of the numerous sectors of the numerous cities. You spawn here. There's a corner shop here, but there's like nothing going on in the front of the corner shop. So I'm just gonna show you. So yep. Good old 2D RPG kit. Player start. Gonna miss you, bad boy. The day I'm done with this kit, I'm gonna miss the aesthetics. I'm not sure I'm. We'll see. So store. You get here and there's like nothing. Yeah, sure, there's this gal. She's very rude. I'm in the ghetto right now. I don't deal with cats. Get lost. I'm just a poor kitty. You know, and yeah, sure, there's stuff to do in the corner store. Other corner stores you can buy stuff. This one, she hates you. But I want there to be some kind of activity in the store, and I don't mean I want someone to actively go there, do something, and then get out of the store. So the way we're gonna do that is very simple. Yeah, I added my own music too. So all instruments is me, of course. But whatever, you don't care about that. So we're gonna go into this scene to make what I want. It's called Dépanneur 2. Oops, that's 3. Bah. So there's our scene. So the way this works is very simple. We need to create an event, and then an event that says the event is over. So that there is a pair of events right there. We need to create a dialogue. In my case, 2, because I make French and English. I can swap the language in my game. So I'm gonna make 2 dialogues. I already made them in advance, not to waste you guys' time. And also I'm gonna need to select a character. I already picked one of the guy that live in the city. I just look at his sprite, and I'm gonna use him in the scene because I want to be consistent. He's a resident. So the way I like to do this is it's not important the order, but it is in a way for my poor brain. So what I want to do is create the sprite of the human that's gonna be there first, because then when we get into making the event in the timeline, I don't want to pause midway. Oh, I need to do the sprite, and then I forgot where I was. It's like, oh. So I prefer to separate stuff like that. So the character, I need to go find him in my own stuff. He's like either this one or the other one. I can never know by heart. It's 02. So this guy. Yeah, this is the guy. This guy right there is gonna be our corner store guy. So I put him anywhere. It's not important for now. The timeline will determine where he is. But I can already see that I need to put him on the player layer. So now he's not under the floor. So this is our guy, but we need to animate him, right? Because right now he's just a sprite. So this is what Artjom did. He just took a sprite, he slid it. Well, it was Ulysse from the side. He slid Ulysse. That was it. I'm not gonna do anything very much more glorious than that. But we want him to move his limbs, you know? So I'm gonna go here. New animation. I don't give 2 squares. Name it something that you like. Then we can drop frames in here. So at first he's gonna look around like in all 4 directions, like he's looking at cameras, he's looking at the cashier, he's looking at, is there my favorite energy drink? I don't know what you guys do in that corner store. He's looking at all that in all directions. So I start with this. This is a very simple start. But then I want him to look down for the rest of the frames. So after he looks all around, a slight pause in the animation, and then we're gonna cycle all the sprites that look downward. So 1, 2, 3, then we go back to 2, 1, 2, 3, go back to 2. I do this a couple of times because I don't feel like making an animation controller and making this complicated. So I do an approximation of what I want him to do, and it's gonna turn out to be just good enough. And if it's not, we'll do it again by adjusting, but it's gonna be good enough. So if you look for this much, turning around, then for quite some times more, he's gonna look downward, but not. We're gonna put more. We want more. Keep looking down. Then he can get angry. He can like throw a punch at the not the cashier, but the, I don't know. My English is poor, guys. the desk, the clerk desk, whatever. Can punch the clerk desk. Raw! Your corner store is garbage. It's not even worth robbing. And to be sure that you don't miss it, he's gonna throw a second one. Yeah. After that, he's gonna resume this direction but not waving his arms. And then he will get out. Now he's angry, he's gonna turn to the left. But as he turns, I want some arm action, so we see that he means business as he's turning. He's putting some swing in it. So 1, 2, 3, go back to 2. So we got a fluid movement. And then we go back to 1, but no arm waving. Now he's gonna walk to the left. I'm gonna approximate once again a duration, because once you put the movements right, then it's up to the timeline. It's up to you to adjust the timeline to fit your animations. So me, I do this naturally, instinctively. But if you were to make a AAA game, you would not do it like that. You would make animation controllers and sequence the heck out of everything, and it would take you weeks instead of hours to do anything. But this is not what I'm doing. I'm doing an indie game, and I'm cultivating a retro look and feeling. So it may look like corner cutting, but it's actually being authentic. So after he's gone left like this, he's gonna go down. So he's gonna finish the sequence. Oh, he's gonna turn. I want him to mean his turn again. So turn with some fist. 1, 2, 3. And then he's gonna walk down normally without any sort of arm waving. I know this looks nuts, and we will see if it's nuts or not. Maybe it's gonna be wonderful, maybe it's gonna be garbage. Point is, you need to try things. Right now, I think this is gonna be just fine, but I'm still gonna make him walk down longer than he needs to, in case, just in case. But this is fine. Bah. Now we're gonna take a speed. 7 maybe. Play. He's moving a bit too fast. We're gonna put it to 5. Okay. So we animated this guy. More precisely, we attached a sprite and animator which will cycle in the order that I just set all the sprite. So now it's up to me to put a timeline of him moving on Y and Z chords, X and Y chords, I mean, in a way that more or less matches what I described, him being in front of the counter, turning, going out. We'll try to match that. It will save us so much work than having to do complicated animating. So now that the character is done, we can just leave it there. Now what we need to do is to do the actual event. So like I said, we need to create an event and an event to end it. So we go into the main object loader, game manager. Now I got plenty of stuff for my own game. Event setting. So we're gonna call it Corner Store A, Camelback, Corner Store A, and then we're just gonna copy that, add the word end. So we just created event to start, event to end. Important not to mess up the names. So now that I've got this, we start by making an event activator. This is just an empty object that I rename like this to know what I'm doing. Then, as a child, you put an event trigger. On the trigger, you want to put a box 2D. This is what is gonna detect the player running into it, and it has to be his trigger. So when the player collides with the square, it's gonna proc this guy appearing and doing his routine. So we spawn right here. Oops. We spawn right here. I don't want this to spawn upon loading. I'm gonna move it to the right like this. So, oops. If you go anywhere in that square, it's gonna pop the animation. Sorry. So yeah, if you go to the right, it's gonna. You cannot cheat and oh, I'm gonna avoid it. No, no cheat. You for you. No cheat for you. So there I go. Now that this is done, we need to a complete event. We need to put a complete event on the trigger. Add component, complete event. This complete event. This is where you copy paste the name from earlier. Corner store. Mark complete when you enter it, and then you need to take that box collider. It will turn yellow. Now you know that you've done everything right because you see that they are connected, intertwined, combined. So now that's being done, I think we move to the children. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna create children. We're gonna name it. Bad Boy. Bad Boy is the name of him, let's say. And Bad Boy, he needs to have his appearance as a child. So it's why we prepared him in advance, because now we just need to drag him like this as a child. Isn't that wonderful? We can continue. So now that we've done that, we need to do the actual timeline. This is where I'm gonna jazz it. As I said, I just put some frames. I'm gonna estimate with the timeline to look about right, and we'll go from there. From there, once it's done, you play it back, then you see, oh, I need to stretch or shrink to make it make sense. So timeline right here. Bad Boy timeline. Sure, I don't care. So what we need to do first is drag this and drop it there. Then we choose add animation track. Then you press on record. Now you just need to move this one. So you click and hold. You let it go. Now a little dot appeared here. This means the first sprite of the animation, let's say. So I want it to go, let's say you play at 60 frames per second. That means that every 60 is 1 second, right? So I want him to go from there to there maybe in a second. Like this. Just making sure he's not going through. His arms are like on the desk slightly, so it's intimidating. I think it's the right place. So this is the second frame. Now I want him to stay a while because I want him to get angry and... Oh no, wait. I just remembered something. No. I'm gonna go back because I want him to turn around first. So you're gonna stay at this location for an entire second. So I'm just gonna move it, but at the same place. So now for an entire 60 frames, he's gonna stay there, and then he's gonna take like a second to go there. Okay? And then he's gonna stay there for like a second. So I need to proc a sprite again, a dot. And then you will start moving left. And then I really want him to take his time to go down, so that because at this point, as soon as he closes the dialogue with the press of a button, the whole thing despawns. So you can put the last move very far away, so he will move down very slowly, like, I'm done talking, are you pressing, it gives you some time. So now I make him go there, just to be sure you didn't miss him. There. Then you pressed, bam, this is stop, okay? like I said, we will only see in the end if what I made right now with my mental math of milliseconds makes any sense or if I'm completely nuts. I'm joking, of course it's gonna work. So what we need to do now, I think, is the dialogue, right? I put animation track. Oh no, we need to put the object, event object activator here. Event object activator. This bad boy. So we put this again. Active if complete. And what is going to be activated? Bad boy. So bad boy is going to be activated. I clicked on the right stuff. Everything is good. So now we're up to the dialogue. So we'll create a child. Dialogue. And that dialogue, we put a dialogue starter on it. So it gains the properties an NPC would have, you know? I'm not going to explain everything, just do it. Is trigger. The first and the third. You go down, you put this with the word end, assuming you named it like that earlier. Then you click that. So it marks the end of the event. You click activate on enter awake. And you click is trigger. Now there's two things left to do. Slot the dialogue in and place this. So we're gonna start with this. This needs to be basically the entire screen, or almost, because you don't want the event to start and to not have the dialogue that controls its end. So you want, there's no way the guy is gonna step on that and be outside of that square in time. So I think this is fine. Now I only need to select the dialogues. Me, like I said, I got 2 languages because I'm Canadian. So I already made in advance 517. So many dialogues. Like I said, my game is pretty much ready. Stuff I'm doing like right now, adding an NPC walking out of the corner store. That's extra stuff, you know. At this point, I'm tryharding to fill the world with life. You know, the game is done, guys. I just want to add cutscenes. So dialogue French, okay, and then the English version 517 as well. But this bad boy has English text instead, which means English names. Where is it? 515, 17. Okay. So English, French. So this is all good. Now that this is done, we're almost there, guys. This looks crazy, but we're almost there. And then you need to put the dialogue as an activation track. So we go back to Bad Boy, and then we need to grab dialogue, slide it on here. Add activation track. So when you step in the yellow square, it's gonna start moving the sprite. However, the dialogue will not start until the timeline touches this dialogue bad boy here. So what you want is put it a bit to the right of the start so that the dialogue starts almost right after you step on the line, because you don't want to start the dialogue here, because then the guy will move, he will be out of the corner store, and then he will start speaking. No. You want him to start speaking maybe you can let him turn around a half a second or whatever, but then he needs to start speaking. So I'm gonna put it up there. So now that's being done, we go on the event activator to wrap this up by putting a master switch, event object activator again, and this guy now it's gonna be end, and we do not click active. What we want here is to deactivate it. So by leaving this empty, it's gonna deactivate it. But it's gonna deactivate what? What we put in here, and what we put in here is event trigger. I'm checking my notes because I 100% don't want to make a mistake, because I don't want to redo this video. I'm short on time. This is a bonus, guys. So event trigger, corner store, close it. Yes. At this point, I've done everything properly. There is only one thing to do. Disable this guy here and this guy here, because they're gonna be dealt with by the activator and the trigger. They are done. If you see the dialogue, I already put text in them. I'm just gonna show you before we test it. says like, your place stinks, not even worth a robbery. And that's it. It just says that. There's nothing else to this scene, not to the scene, but to this little animation. So now I'm gonna press play. Nothing happens, but as soon as I step on the thing, it's gonna happen. He's looking around, he's going down, he's going left, and then he's exiting the store. There was some timing off here. He's going a bit too down, but it's not too bad. Mr. Timeline here. What we want to do is a few things. Can we edit this? Not really. Yeah, that's the thing. I think you need to do it again. So just do it again, but put less space between, because he's taking too much time to turn around. Oh wait, I got an idea. We're gonna accelerate him instead. Bad boy is sprite. Bad boy sprite. Gonna accelerate his movement. It was not fast enough. Gonna put it back to 7. This way we don't have to change anything. It's gonna adjust on his movement. So he was walking too slow. Now the sprites will cycle faster. I think this is it. He looks around. Your place stinks. Not even worth a robbery. And then he leaves. Yeah, this is better. So it's why you just approximate what he's gonna do, because then you can play with the frame per second to adjust. Like this was fine, guys. You can do it again if you're not sure. This was fine with the 7 frames per second, like I did there. Get into the corner store, there's a guy. Your place stinks, not even worth a robbery. And then, like I said, I gave him some time to leave. You can press when you want the button, but you still feel like you're in the scene, because I did not make him disappear right away. So it's like you get in the door and he's leaving at the same time. So this is fine. So guys, this was just a small upgrade on Artjom's guide, because Artjom only made a list slide from left to right. Now I just added movement, vertical, horizontal, and I added the rotation of the sprite that I approximated on the timeline, and then you adjust with the frame per second to match better. But in the end of the day, this is not a perfect method. This is an indie method. A perfect method would be to use complex animators with very gated logic and on button press succession of timeline. I'm not gonna go into that, because even I don't do this for such a small game. Okay, I'm gonna do that kind of thing in the sequel, because the sequel then I will not make the same game. In fact, I will not even make another game if it's gonna be the same game. What I want the sequel to be is the next level. So we're gonna have to drastically improve the 2D RPG kit, perhaps merging it with his ultimate combat thing, or altogether switching to another engine. If I switch to a tactical RPG or whatever, I'm not sure. This is no time to think about a sequel. I have not even finished the cutscenes in the first game. So I just wanted to share with you guys the progress that I'm making in Feline Realms, the fact that it's basically finished. Stuff that I'm adding right now, this was obviously not in the game 15 minutes ago, and now it is, so I'm still adding stuff, but it's not important stuff. All the main quests is there. Occasionally I wake up and I'm like, oh, I got a good idea for a side quest. Is there still place? Oh yeah, that zone has plenty of NPCs that are do for nothing people. Yeah, you got a job now, so when you put time into a project, life takes place. Build it and they will come. Build the city and the NPCs will come. Just if you give it time, they will come, not by magic. They will come by you figuring out where they should be. So yeah, so thank you guys for your patience. I hope that that you found this how to do a timeline, a botch timeline, not botch, but what's the word? No, I'm not good at English. Uh, Whatever, sketchy. I'm gonna go with sketchy, even though that's not the word. We can go make a sketchy timeline approximation, and then you can refine your own skills. Because this is not important to me. A guy coming out of the corner store, this is not important. But I hope that you enjoyed it. And Feline Realms will come out. I don't want to give a date, but it will come out relatively soon, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed the tutorials, and if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask if you want me to teach something else with the 2D RPG kit, of course, because this is what I'm working on right now. So if you need more, if you would like another tutorial, just send a comment. Otherwise, I think that this is good. This is good stuff. Thank you, and see you in a few weeks or whatever when I'll be ready to make the big announcement.